Yo, what is up guys, Gray here, and today we have got our week 4 battle of the APA Academy Season 2 against Aaron2420 and his Calgary Infernapes. I've been told that's how you say his name by Matt, aka Dr. Slacking, so if that's not how you say his name, fuck it, blame Matt. Because Weeb ass name, like, yeah, all of his names I believe are anime references, so I mean, if you really want to go and check that out, go check him out, I guess. No, just kidding. He's a really great guy. Make sure to check him out. Really good content creator. Links down below to him and all the coaches in the APA Season 2 Academy. But yeah, let's get into this one. Got to quickly grab my team builder. Where is it? I have so many team builders. I need to delete them. There it is. Yeah, this week we are bringing pretty much the same 6 as last week. I think the only difference is that we are bringing Gastrodon instead of Incineroar and Torn instead of something else that I can't remember. Tangrowth. So one regenerator, one out for another. But yeah, let's get into this team builder. First up, we've got Mimikyu for Ghostium Z, Shadow Sneak, Shadow Claw, Play Rough, and Destiny Bomb because he has a Lunala. Pretty much the one and only reason that I'm bringing this week is Lunala is scary as fuck. And well, his team is generally very scary. Again, that should be above me as I'm speaking currently. I got to remember in my editing, and if I don't mention it, I will forget 100%. So yeah, Shadow Sneak, Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw with the Ghostium Z should take down his Lunala no problem, and it should do a shit ton of damage to everything on his team, pretty much. And then Shadow Sneak will be able to pick them off. Shadow Sneak is just fantastic priority. Play Rough for the Weavile, obviously. And in Destiny Bond, I just kind of ran this because Swords Dance didn't seem like a viable option. Against his team, I didn't see too many chances for me to actually get the Swords Dance up. He has a lot of things that can do a ton of damage to me or outspeed me, and so yeah, I just ran Destiny Bond in case the situation came up like last week, where I could be able to take down a single mon. Then I can just click that, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to claim a kill. Next up, we have got our Gastrodon, the better Gastrodon, by the way, the East version, the blue one, with Rocky Helmet, Scald, Hidden Power Electric, Toxic, and Recover. And pretty much max Fizz Death, running enough speed to outspeed one of his slower mons that I don't remember. And yeah, this thing is pretty much here to... It's not necessarily a Gyarados bait, but he's going to imagine I don't have a lot for him. If I can Skull Burn him, fantastic. If I can then click Hidden Power Electric, depending on his set, it should do about half, and we can 2-hit KO him. And there's no way he'll be able to one-hit KO me in return. So yeah, Gastrodon is here as something of a check to his Gyarados, but at the same time it may bait him into thinking that he's safe against me, especially if it's like a sub-DD Flynium Z set, something like that. So I believe it's the user. I should probably have checked that before I said it. But yeah, next up, it's also very good against his Mega Aerodactyl, it's good against a physical Landorus, and it's also very good against his Weavile. So all round, Gastrodon is a pretty solid physical check. Next up, we've got a Mega Metagross, for Jolly Nature, Meteor Mash, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, and Agility. Again, this is kind of like more of a late game sweeper this week, because if I can get rid of like pretty much just the Gyarados, if I get rid of Gyarados, then this thing can almost entirely sweep. I do need to get rid of the Lunala, or at least need to weaken it, because it does have like the ghost equivalent, I would say, of multi-scale. So that first hit is not going to be doing enough damage. But if I can weaken it to the point it's not got its multi-scale anymore, or Shadow Shield, I think it is, then there's no way it can take a Meteor Mash from about 70%, I think it is. So yeah, late game sweeper potentially for Metagross. If not, then it can kind of come in and just claim a kill most of the game. Its Aerodactyl won't appreciate the Meteor Mash. Got Thunder Punch for Gyarados, Ice Punch for Landorus, Ice Punch for Roserade, Meteor Mash for his Weavile. Like, there's very little that he can do to actually stop this thing. Next up, we have got our Garchomp, which is Yachi Berry with Outrage, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Stealth Rock. Pretty much the same set as last week, but without the Choice Scarf. This is just to prevent us from getting hit by things like Hidden Power Ice from his Landorus, an Ice Fang from his Gyarados, Ice Fang from his Aerodactyl, like anything that potentially just like some random kind of coverage ice move. I guess Hidden Power Ice from his Roserade, but I don't expect Ice particularly this week. I guess Ice would make sense for my Torn. It's just nice for any potential Ice coverage, and also means I can get like a fairly safe Stealth Rock up, and Stealth Rock is fantastic in this game. It has three flying types even. One is not weak to rocks, but the other two are. Then you got Lunala, which really doesn't appreciate rocks at all because it means taking more damage on that first hit. Weavile doesn't appreciate rocks, and to be honest, Roserade doesn't really appreciate coming in too many times on it as well. So outside of that, it's kind of just here to hit things hard. Outrage, Earthquake, and Stone Edge just kind of hits everything on this team for at least neutral damage, if not super effective. Next up, we have got our Tornadus, which is Assault Vest with Hurricane, Heatwave, Knockoff, and U-Turn. Running it fairly specially bulky as well. This is kind of my switch into Lunala, unless it's like a Carmine set, and then that's a bit of a problem, but Knockoff is ×4 effective against it, and after the second one is just going to be doing a ton of damage to it. U-Turn for momentum. Hurricane is just good for like hitting everything neutrally, and Heatwave, I believe he had Ferrothorn on. No, he didn't have Ferrothorn. Heatwave is for something. I don't remember because he didn't bring it. But Heatwave also hits the Weavile for good damage as well. Assault Vest means that I can take hits from the Lunala, it can take hits from the Roserade, because Roserade actually was a bit of a problem. I couldn't really take a hit particularly well, and I have 2 water types on my team. So yeah, that's an issue. And any fully special variant of Landorus, it can take on just fine as well. Last up, we have got our Greninja with Choice Scarf, Ice Punch, Rock Slide, Night Slash, and U-Turn. I went for the physical set this week because it just did a bit more than the special set, in my opinion. I don't really have anything particularly to hit the Gyarados too hard, so I can't bring that in until Gyarados has really come down, really gone down even, or is weakened quite substantially, because Intimidate is a bit of an issue for it. Ice Punch hits the Roserade, it hits the Landorus, it hits the Mega Aerodactyl, Rock Slide hits the Mega Aerodactyl again, it hits the Weavile, it hits the Gyarados. Night Slash will pretty much guaranteed one-shot the Lunala, and U-Turn is obviously great for momentum. So yeah, that's the team this week, and I don't remember this battle at all, like literally none of it. So this time I really am going to be watching it through with you guys. I should have watched it before, but I just don't have the time to watch this battle before and remember what happened. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be like a discussion video more than a play-by-play. So he leads off with his Mega Aerodactyl. I lead off with my Mimikyu. I saw no reason to kind of stay in and have my Mimikyu lose its disguise super early on, especially when I still got checks to it, namely the Gastrodon. If he has Toxic, then that's a bit of an issue, but that would just be great prep on his part. Sorry, needed a drink. As we're going at the Mega Evolution off, and I believe he goes for a Taunt hit, which is kind of interesting. I'm surprised he went for the Taunt. I guess it makes sense in case I want to go for Destiny Bond or Will-O-Wisp or Swords Dance. It meant that I couldn't, but there was no reason for me to stay in, and here he just goes out into his Gyarados. And this is what I was saying when I said that maybe this would bait out his Gyarados. So when he goes into his Gyarados here, firstly he's risking a burn, which was crazy to me, as we actually do get the first turn burn. But then he shows Leftover, so he's at least not a Z set. If he is actually a Z user, I don't remember, but we see Leftover, so he's more of a bulky set, and he goes for the sub here, so I'm just going to go for the Hidden Power. I didn't want to go for a Toxic, because what am I talking about? He's Burn. Of course I don't go for a Toxic. Here I just go for the Hidden Power Electric because it will break a sub if he's got it, and it also means that then he's just kind of scared out. He doesn't want to stay in particularly, and my Taunt is going to wear off, I believe, this turn, so I can start recovering. He's going to, I think, switch out, but I believe I just go for another Hidden Power Electric. I have no reason to over-predict. I want to say I go for another Hidden Power Electric. I do. Okay, we're good. I make the right play, as he stays in. Like, if you were switched out there, then I could change swap accordingly, but making this Gyarados as weak as possible actually gives a huge advantage to me, because it's Intimidate means that I can't. I can bring in Garchomp, I can bring in Mimikyu, I can bring in Greninja. Like, my team is almost entirely physical. The only special mons being Gastrodon and Torn, and even Torn has 2 physical moves. So, okay, here's I guess you say a questionable play. I go out into my Tornadus, and I don't want to miss the Hurricane here and get Toxic. I was looking at Calc, and Knockoff had a chance to knock him out. So I go for the safe play, I go for the knockoff, and unfortunately he lives on like 5 HP. I was able to get a Toxic off on my Tornadus, and this is huge. Like, this is a real big problem. The reason I switched out there was because I thought he was going to go out into the Rose Raid. I saw no reason for him to stay in, unless he was just kind of sacking off his Gyarados. So I thought if I can like get in before the Rose Raid gets in, and I'll be in a really good position. But that's a bit of an over-prediction on my behalf, as we get a bit of lag again on this recording. Yeah, Weavile was an issue, and I think if I stayed in with my Gastrodon, at least it stops this Weavile from coming in. But it does mean that I can go out into my Gastrodon, and here he goes for the knockoff. He goes for the Ice Crash. Just going to pause this and play again, see if that fixes any of the lag issues. I don't know why it's lagging so bad, whether it's the recording or whether it's my PC. But here I'm just going to sack off my Gastrodon. I had no reason to not sack it off, and I'm just going to throw off a Toxic as he goes out into his Roserade. And this is a really nice play on his part, because I'm going to clearly die to the Toxic on this turn, and he can get his Roserade in for free. However, it does give me my Torn for free, and here I'm just going to click Hurricane. I have literally no reason, I think. Oh no, I'll go for a knockoff, because like, I was calculating this, and I thought if he was Life Orb, then he could do a shit ton of damage to me, but without Life Orb, he doesn't do enough to actually like make me care too much. So he's actually just going to throw off a Spike, and I think from the calc, Hurricane was a 50-50, and I didn't want to risk him living that and still getting a Spike up. Also, if I went for the Hurricane and missed, then I'd be in an even worse position, so at least if I got a knockoff off, then I've done that damage. But unfortunately, after we take out the Roserade, his Weavile's going to come back in again, and he just gets to click Ice Crash every time that he comes back in. Here I'm fairly sure he's going to go for the knockoff, because Ice Crash seems really obvious, so I'm just going to go into my Garchomp, expecting the knockoff. And Garchomp really didn't have too much of a role to play this week, and especially if it was like Choice Scarf, it really wouldn't matter at all. I'm just going to stay in again here. I'm fairly sure at this point he is Choice Banded, I want to say. Now, the damage he did to my Gastrodon looked 100% Choice Banded, and it looked like a max roll or something. I think it was a crit. I think that's what happened there. I think he crit my Gastrodon with his Ice Crash, but obviously it lagged, so we couldn't tell. But yeah, I'm fairly sure he just crit my Gastrodon there, and that's why he picked up so much damage. Okay, so because he crit, I couldn't work it out correctly, but even with a crit, it looked like Choice Banded max roll Adamant or something like that. So yeah, that was what happened on that Gastro turn. I was wondering why it did so much damage, but yeah, I remember now that's kind of what the calc said. As we're just going for U-turn. I had no reason to click anything else there. If he wants to get rid of his Weavile, then that's absolutely fantastic for me, because Weavile was a pain in the fucking ass. It just picked up a kill every time it came in. So really glad to see that thing go. As I'm going to go out into my Mimikyu, and he actually goes into his Lunala. I'm not surprised at all that he goes into his Lunala, but I know at this point I don't want to. I don't want him to attack until I've done a bit of damage to him to get him out of his Shadow Shield. A Z Shadow Claw had a chance to kill, I think, or no, sorry, it didn't have a chance to kill or something like that. It was a roll, I think, but I also didn't know what this set was, and if I can scout out the set, then I know whether or not it's safe to go for a Z Shadow Claw against it. As I find out in this battle, it's actually Choice Scarf, so I make the right play. I make like the good play to go into my Torn, and here I'm going to go for a knockoff again. I had no real reason to not knock off. It does give his Aerodactyl like a pretty free switch in, but at the same time, like, I don't see him going for an Earthquake. So if he goes into his Aerodactyl like he did, then I can go out to my Mega Metagross or my regular Metagross and take any one hit that he wants to go for. So I'm expecting him to go for a Stone Edge here or an Ice Fang. Like, there's no reason for him to go for anything else, as he does go for the Ice Fang. I didn't know if he's going to bring Stone Edge or not this week, just because of the matchup. But I resist either of those, and I can quite easily take an Earthquake from the range I'm at. And Meteor Mash is a guaranteed kill. As long as I hit, Meteor Mash is a guaranteed kill. If he actually goes for a Taunt, I believe I'll go for an Agility on this turn to try and start for the sweep, or at least be able to outspeed his Choice Scarf Lunala. As it turns out, it doesn't even have Earthquake on this, so my Metagross completely walls him. We missed the first Meteor Mash. It's not the end of the world, it's really not a big deal at all, because Lightness is Lunala's coming in after this, and I'm just going to sack my Metagross off to it entirely, because yeah, I have nothing else to switch into it. Like, my Taunt doesn't take 2, I believe, at this point, as we're going to just, if I played that correctly, I could have like stalled out as Taunt and hoped that he didn't go for Taunt next time that the Taunt wore off, but he had no reason to not click Taunt. Actually, I don't sack it off, I go straight out into my Taunt again, and because I know it's his Choice Scarf and my Choice Scarf are outspeeds, then I feel fairly safe just kind of staying in and sacking off my Taunt at this point. It takes just a little bit too much damage, especially with the Toxic damage, to be able to hit a second one, unfortunately, as he does go for another Moongeist Beam, and this shows me that he is indeed Choice Scarf, and that's great for me, because now I just click Shadow Sneak on it and break its Shadow Shield, and Night Slash will then be able to take it out. However, he does still have 2 very scary ones in Lunala and Landorus Therian left, and with the spikes up, it's going to be really, like, it's going to be a 50-50. Here I go for, I believe, a Night Slash, because I just want to get the damage off. Yeah, so I felt like if I could Night Slash, and then win the game with my Mimikyu afterwards, because I could Shadow Sneak for like 60%, and then go into my Greninja afterwards and just sweep up. Sorry, go into my Mimikyu and just sweep up from there, because Z Ghostium Z will be able to take it out. Here he goes for the Earth Power as I switch out into my Mega Metagross. I had to sack it off here pretty much. Sadly, I had to sack it off. And now I'm just going to go for the Z Shadow Claw. If he switches, then it will put it in range of a Shadow Sneak, and I can take Ice Punch with my Greninja after I sack off my Mimikyu. And if he goes for attack here, they breaks my Disguise, I go for the Z Shadow Claw and take out Landorus. I can then go for a Shadow Sneak and then Night Slash with Greninja. So we have the game pretty much wrapped up at this point, as I don't have to skip this Z animation. I can actually watch this one. I need to stop bringing Mimikyu and Z, because it's annoying. It like cuts through the video halfway through. So yeah, we're going to pick up the KO on the Landorus here with the Z Shadow Claw. Really cool animation. Shame it lagged a little bit, but you know, is what it is. And we're in a really good position. So all I need to do now is Shadow Sneak and then go for Night Slash. I know I outspeed his Lunala regardless. I think he has to hope that I don't have Shadow Sneak at this point. But I am going to be able to get a solid like 25-30% off as he goes for the Moongeist Beam, and this is going to absolutely obliterate me. And I think actually at the range I was at after Spikes, Lunala would have just killed my Greninja from this range as well. So fortunately we are scarfed, and we're going to be able to click the Night Slash and be able to pick up the 1-0 victory against Aaron. Really good game, actually, really fun game. Very offensive. There was very few turns in which something didn't die, but yeah, there was a few plays that I thought were questionable. Like if he kept his Weavile around, it would have stopped me from being able to click certain moves, but at the same time something kind of died in that situation. Like he didn't really have too many good switch-ins to a Greninja. It always gave me momentum if I went for U-turn, so I guess he just didn't want me to keep getting that momentum. But Weavile was certainly a threat. Like every time it came in, it genuinely just got a kill, and there was nothing I could do about it. But yeah, good game to Aaron. I can't say Aaron, like my mind doesn't do it. But good game too. We go to 3-1 plus 5, I do believe. Really strong start to the season, which is unlike me, like super unlike me. Usually I go like 0-4 to start off the season and then have to claw it back at the end. But yeah, we moved to 3-1. So next week we go up against Brute, I want to say, and his New Jersey Brobats. He's got a terrifying team. Like for our team, it's just a horrible matchup. But we'll see how we do. I'll see you guys in the next one. And until then, have a great day. Peace.